My girlfriend can reverse time, but there's a catch. Every time she does, she loses a day of her life. She thought I didn't know. And to save her childhood friend Adam, she's used that power 999 times. She's even killed me 99 times in the process. And yet, on the 1000th reset, I just couldn't take it anymore. Monica, stop, I said. I know it's convenient, but I really can't eat instant noodles for breakfast again. And without seasoning? Even a dog wouldn't touch that. I looked down at the clean bowl in front of me, empty, flavorless, while Monica stood in the kitchen cooking lunch for Adam, her so-called childhood friend. I sighed. Looks like we've gone back again, I muttered. The 1000th time, almost 3 years of repeating the same day. All because Monica refused to let Adam die tonight. You see, Monica isn't like anyone else. She can turn back time, but every time she does, she pays for it. One day of her life gone. She's tried everything, 999 times, but Adam still ends up dead. Sometimes she even dies herself, only to reverse time again just before her final breath. At first, I didn't interfere. I was afraid of what would happen if she knew I was aware. But as the loops went on, I tried everything, arguing, pretending to be sick, even calling the police. Nothing stopped her. When I pushed too far, she killed me with a fruit knife. And then the next day, everything was back to normal, at least for her. It became routine. Kill me, reverse time, start over. 99 times. Because she knew if I died, she could always just rewind. But what she didn't know was that I remembered everything. Every reset, every death, every look she gave Adam, and every time she cradled him before his death, whispering, "Adam, don't worry. Even if you die, I'll save you." For 3 long years, I watched their story repeat like a broken record. I stopped feeling like her boyfriend. I was just an observer in someone else's love story. I was tired. So today I decided to change something, anything. She finished cooking, packed the lunch, and turned to me with those same practiced words. I have something important tonight. I won't be back. Take care of yourself. But when she passed the water dispenser, a glass tipped over. Before it could hit the floor, I threw a cushion, catching it midair. She looked at me as startled. I said nothing, just picked up the car keys and an umbrella and handed them to her. "What's this?" she asked. "You're driving later," I said softly. "Forecast says it'll rain." She hesitated. Her eyes flickered with something she wanted to say, but didn't. "I'll try to come back early," she said. "I'll make you something good for dinner." I nodded. Sure. When she left, I exhaled slowly. The truth? I hadn't watched any forecast. Monica never forgot details like that, not once in all those resets. But this time, I gave her the umbrella and keys before she could even think of them. She didn't notice. Because she wasn't thinking about me. She was thinking about Adam, and maybe she always had been. Maybe our love was never meant to be. She smiled at me, patted my shoulder, and said softly, "I told you I'd save you. And I meant it." And I knew exactly what she meant. Even if she thought I didn't. Somewhere along the way, I fell for her. The girl who rewound time just to pull me from the river. And once I did, everything between us seemed effortless. We started dating, built a life, shared dreams. She had saved me once, and I swore to spend my life cherishing her in return. But then Adam showed up. At first, I told myself I had nothing to worry about. They were close, yes, sometimes too close, but I trusted her. I wanted to. Then one night, Adam died in a car accident. And from that moment on, everything changed. Monica began her endless rewinds. Again and again, she tried to save him. 999 times. And with every reset, the distance between us grew. We looked like the perfect couple to everyone else. But the truth was, we'd already lived nearly 1,000 days of heartbreak. 999 days of watching her choose him, of being ignored, blamed, even killed. Somewhere in that loop, my heart just gave up. That morning, I glanced at the clock. A few hours left before it all began again. I finished my bread and milk, though it tasted like nothing after so many repeats. Routine had become my prison. I cleaned up one last time, packed my things, and stared at the single photo I left behind. Monica and me on our 3rd anniversary. Her head resting on my shoulder, eyes shining, smile radiant. That day she told me, "As long as I'm here, you'll always be safe." I laughed and said, "What if it's you bringing the danger?" She giggled, half serious. Then I'll just rewind time and fix it. I saved you once. I can save you for life. And I pulled her close, whispering, then I'll protect you so you can keep saving me. But those promises, they don't survive forever. When she started stabbing me again and again just to save Adam, I realized what we had was already gone. Maybe she really could fix her mistakes. Just not the ones she made with me. If I didn't remember all the loops, maybe I'd still love her. Maybe I'd still believe in us. But in a way, I was grateful. Because at least now I saw the truth. I tore our photo in half, placed her side back into the frame, and erased the last trace of myself from that home. Then I lay on the couch, breathing in what was left of her. Her perfume, her warmth, her ghost. This time I didn't want to be trapped in the loop again. This time I wanted to end it. She saved me once. Now I'd save her, and maybe in doing so save myself. 3 hours later, suitcase in hand, I drove to Adam's company. Just like always, Monica was already there, pacing outside, panic etched across her face. Adam's phone would be off. He'd never see it coming. And when he stepped out of his car, it would explode. She'd tried everything in the past 999 loops. Every path, every plan. Nothing ever worked. Each time he died, she'd hit rewind. Again and again, blindly repeating the same pain because love wouldn't let her stop. She never saw the pattern, never questioned it deeply enough. If she had, maybe she could have saved him. But love makes fools of even the smartest people. I parked nearby, watching her from a distance, her eyes wild with desperation. She hadn't noticed me yet, but I knew. In a few hours, she'd rewind to this very moment again. I stepped out and walked toward her. She froze. Surprise, then panic flashed in her eyes. Why are you here? She stammered. I smiled gently, handed her a jacket. You forgot it might rain, I said. Didn't want you catching a cold. She looked at me, guilt flickering in her expression. Thank you, she whispered. She hadn't told me she'd be here. She never did. But even that didn't make her suspicious. She just couldn't see beyond Adam. I smiled sadly. When did we become so distant? Her lips parted, but no words came. I walked to my car, pulled out a small box. She frowned. What's that? Nothing, I said lightly. Just something I'm dropping off for a friend here. She barely registered my answer. Her mind was already back on Adam. Go home, she said quietly. But I shook my head. I'll stay. You never know what could happen. She blinked, caught off guard by my tone. Then her eyes hardened. I told you to go home. Don't make me say it again. I leaned against the wall, calm, unbothered. Crazy, she muttered. Fine. Stay if you want, but if anything happens, don't expect me to save you. Her voice rose in frustration, but I didn't answer. She turned away, because in her mind, I didn't matter anymore. I was expendable, just another life she could rewind through. The same woman who once promised to save me forever was now ready to watch me die. A few moments later, the people she'd hired to investigate arrived. She'd done this before, sent them on wild chases, trying to uncover who planted the bomb. But it was always the same. Too little time, too late to find anything. And as I watched her frown deepen, I already knew how tonight would end. 8 o'clock was coming, and with it, the 1000th rewind. A black sedan rolled in from the distance, its engine humming low against the quiet air. Adam was inside. Monica spotted the car immediately. The second it stopped, she ran, her voice breaking through the stillness. Adam, run! There's a bomb! Adam frowned, stepping out, not yet grasping what was happening. But the driver knew. He knew the moment someone shouted that warning, they'd been exposed. In a flash, he climbed from the driver's seat to the back, gun in hand, and grabbed Adam along with Adam's boss. Don't come any closer, he barked, pressing the barrel tight against Adam's head. One step more, and they're dead. Monica froze. Security rushed in, surrounding the car, weapons raised, tension thick as smoke. She tried to reason, her voice shaking. Don't hurt him. Please, I can give you money, whatever you want. The hijacker smirked. Anything? Then strip. Right here. Let me see you. Monica hesitated just for a heartbeat, and then she began to comply. Because she wasn't afraid of shame. She wasn't afraid of the world seeing her fall apart. She could reset everything again and again, so long as she saved Adam. This scene. It had happened countless times before. Each time she'd obey. Each time the demands grew worse. And each time she endured it, believing that humiliation was the price of love, the only way to save him. But watching her, I couldn't tell if I should admire her devotion or pity her blindness. Wanting to save someone isn't wrong. Even reversing time for it, it isn't wrong. But her way of saving him always came at the cost of hurting me. 999 times she saved Adam. 999 times I was the one who suffered. If she had just told me the truth from the start, would I have let her watch him die? Maybe not. But by now, it was clear. In her heart, I didn't matter. I opened the small metal box in my hands and stepped toward her. She was trembling, about to take off her clothes again when I grabbed her wrist. "You don't have to do this," I said. She tried to pull free, her voice sharp with panic. "Let go. If I don't, Adam will die." "He won't," I told her quietly. "That man doesn't have the power to kill him." The hijacker snapped, furious. "Oh, really?" he shouted, yanking a remote from his pocket. "Let's see if I have the power now. There's a bomb under that car. If I press this, everyone dies." Monica's face went white. "No, don't! I'll do it!" She fought my grip, desperate, then slapped me hard across the face. "Let me go!" she screamed. The sting on my cheek was nothing compared to the ache inside me. I laughed bitterly. "You're my girlfriend. You think I'd just let you strip in public?" She pushed me away, eyes full of fire. "Then we're done. I'm not your girlfriend anymore. It's my body. I can do what I want with it." I smiled faintly. "Fine. We're over." She froze at that, but I was already walking toward the gunman. "Go ahead," I told him coldly. "Blow it up, but you'll die too. You dare?" "Watch me!" he shouted. Adam panicked. "Charlie, don't provoke him!" But I didn't stop. "You're bluffing. You don't have the guts." The hijacker snapped and pressed the button. Monica screamed, but nothing happened. Silence. Then confusion. The bomb didn't go off. I smiled. "Ever heard of a signal jammer?" Her eyes widened, finally remembering the box I'd taken from the car. Now it was the hijacker's turn to panic. He grabbed Adam again, pressing the gun to his head. "I don't believe you can block bullets, too." Monica lunged forward and I caught her, holding her back as she kicked and cursed through her tears. "Charlie, you bastard! Let me go!" Then, a gunshot split the air. She froze. And the man who fell wasn't Adam. It was the hijacker. The sniper stood beyond the cordon, steady, calm. The police had already arrived. I'd called them earlier. Once they knew the bomb couldn't detonate, they took the shot. Monica ran to Adam, clutching him tight, crying with relief, and for the first time in what felt like forever, I felt the weight lift from my chest. "I've helped you save him," I said softly. "That repays what I owed you for saving me once. From now on, we're even." Her face fell, trembling. You knew." 999 times, I said. "I remember everything." Her lips parted, but I didn't let her speak. "I don't blame you. I just don't want to live that same day anymore." I turned away. 999 days, each one the same dull taste of pain. Even the noodles had lost their flavor. As I walked off, she ran up and grabbed my hand. "Charlie, I'm sorry." I looked at her one last time. "You don't need to be," I said. "You didn't do anything wrong. She once saved me, and she also destroyed me. So now, we're even." I'd already packed up everything that was mine. The house. It was hers now. I was done. I was leaving. But Monica shook her head desperately, clinging to me as if her life depended on it. "I won't let you go," she cried. "Don't you want me anymore? You promised to marry me. You said you'd protect me for life. You said we'd never break up. How can you take that back now?" I gently pushed her away, wiped the tears from her cheeks, and smiled faintly. "But you were the first one to take it back," I said softly. "You were the one who said we should break up. And we did." Her sobs stopped all at once. And for the first time, I noticed the lines around her eyes, the years she'd carried through endless resets. She looked older now, like each reversal had stolen something from her. "Use your power less," I told her quietly. "Live a normal life with Adam." Then I turned and walked away. They took me to the station for questioning. After all, I'd called the police. Before the crisis, told them exactly when to come, even asked them to bring a sniper rifle. Naturally, they wanted to know how I could have known all that. I gave them vague answers, half-truths. Enough to make sense, not enough to expose what really happened. In the end, no one pressed further. A life had been saved. A tragedy had been avoided. That was enough for them. When I finally stepped out of the station, the clock struck 11:30 p.m. I still had time. I drove straight to the cafe across from where everything had gone down earlier. There by the fountain stood a woman in a white dress, Hannah, the cafe's owner. I ran toward her, pulling her away just as a flower pot crashed down from the balcony above, smashing into the ground where she'd been standing. I checked my watch. 11:51 p.m., just in time. The very first time Monica failed to save Adam, I'd wandered here, angry, lost, and watched Hannah die under that same flower pot. The second time, I came early and saved her. And every time after that, except for the days Monica killed me herself, I came to save Hannah. Every single loop. It became routine. And every time she'd thank me with a shy smile and a cup of coffee. We'd talk just for a few minutes, but those minutes were everything. In that endless cycle of repetition and pain, she was the one spark that reminded me I was still human. Tonight, she smiled at me again. "Thank you," she said softly. "If it weren't for you, I might have died. Let me buy you a cup of coffee." I looked at my watch, almost midnight, and smiled, shaking my head. "No need," I said. "Maybe next time." Honestly, I couldn't stomach another cup. Instant noodles in the morning, coffee at noon. After 1,000 loops, even steel would rust. And deep down, I was terrified that Monica might reset time again, that everything would go back to the same afternoon. Hannah didn't press me. Instead, she disappeared inside, then returned with a small cup of juice. "Here," she said. "It's the last one for today." I accepted it, though I couldn't really taste anything. My eyes stayed glued to the second hand on my watch. 11:59 p.m. "What are you looking at?" she asked, leaning closer, her voice curious and light. My pulse quickened as the hand ticked toward 12. If time reset again, I didn't know if I could take it. I was exhausted, not just in body but in soul. I looked at Hannah and said, half smiling, "If I ever come back again, get me a Coke next time." "I like Coke." She blinked, not quite understanding. But still she smiled. "We don't sell Coke here," she said playfully. "But I'll make sure we have some next time. With ice." "With ice," I repeated, and then it hit midnight. My heart was pounding. 1 second, 2, 3. The world stayed the same. No rewind, no reset. Hannah pinched my cheek, laughing. "Hey, what's wrong with you?" I blinked, stunned. Then a wave of relief washed over me. We'd made it past midnight. Time reversal only worked within the same day, and Monica had no reason to use it anymore. I lifted the cup and took a long sip. The juice was sweet, sweeter than any coffee I'd had in 1,000 loops. Because this day would never come again. Overwhelmed with joy, I grabbed Hannah by the shoulders, laughing like a fool. "I'm not coming back. Not coming back again." She frowned. "What do you mean? You don't like me anymore? Or is it my shop? Or my juice?" I froze, then smiled apologetically. "No, it's not that," I said. "It's just hard to explain. I'll still come by. Just no more coffee. I'm done with it. I want Coke with ice." That made her laugh again. And for the first time in so long, I felt alive. But just as I began to breathe again, a familiar voice cut through the night. "Charlie, can we talk?" I froze. Slowly, I turned around. It was Monica, disheveled, eyes hollow, standing in the dim light like a ghost from a past I thought I'd escaped. I took a step back. "No," I said quietly. "We don't have anything left to say." She reached out, desperate. Please! I shook my head. You saved my life once, I said. I've repaid that debt. Now it's over. Monica's eyes were red and trembling as she looked at me. Charlie, I've always loved you, she whispered. I only saved Adam because we grew up together.
He's like a brother to me.
I stared at her, tired, hollow, and finally said, Then why didn't you just tell me that from the start? Did you really think I wouldn't help you? After all these years, don't you know who I am? I would never stop you from saving a life. I told you I trusted you. My voice cracked. But what did you do instead? You shut me out. You used cruel words. You killed me again and again. Monica shook her head, crying harder now. Charlie, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please, forgive me. Let's start over. I took a slow breath and answered quietly, You don't need my forgiveness, Monica. Just go. She refused to move. Charlie, I love you. You're the only one I've ever loved. I can't let you go. She reached out to hug me, and I stepped back. Before I could say anything, a gentle hand slipped around my arm. Hannah. She stood beside me, calm and firm, then looked straight at Monica. Miss, she said with a polite smile, it's not good to cling to someone like that. Please stop harassing my boyfriend. Monica froze, disbelief flickering across her face, then glared at her. Charlie, she hissed. Is this her? The woman you saved so many times? And now 1 day later you're together? I didn't deny it. I nodded. Because right now, letting Hannah play the part of my girlfriend was the only way to make Monica finally give up. For you, it's just been 1 day, I said softly. But for me, it's been 1,000. 1,000 days of dying, of breaking, of letting go. That's long enough to kill my love for you, and long enough to fall for someone else. Her lips twisted into a bitter smile. Ha, Charlie, do you really think you know me? Something in her tone sent a chill down my spine. Then she laughed, a hollow, terrifying laugh. You're mine, Charlie. Always mine. If I can't have you, no one can. Her voice dropped, colder now. You said you met this woman recently. But what about 3 years ago? 5 or 10 years ago? My heart sank. Monica, what are you talking about? She smiled darkly, her body beginning to glow with a strange white light. Her hair turned silver, her skin wrinkling before my eyes. I have one last chance, she said, trembling. I can go back, to any point in time, but it'll cost me everything. Then, years, Charlie. If I go back 10 years, I can erase her. I can make sure you never meet her. I can kill her before she even gets close to you. No, I shouted. You wouldn't dare! Ha ha ha! Watch me, she said. The light around her grew blinding, wrapping her whole body as she aged in front of me, every second draining her life away. I grabbed Hannah's hand, panic rising in my throat. Hannah, if you can hear me later, remember this. 36 Chin Street, Tien City, Jiangnan. Before I could finish, the light swallowed everything. When I opened my eyes again, it was dusk. The sky was painted orange, the sun barely hanging on the horizon. Everything around me felt familiar yet distant, like an echo from a forgotten dream. I looked down, an old-style phone in my hand. My breath caught. The date on the screen said it all. 10 years ago. She really did it. I was back in my high school days, wearing my old uniform. The same summer I'd just finished my college entrance exams. It took days before I could even accept what happened. No Hannah, no café, no trace of the life I'd built. And if Monica was here too, she could hurt her, the Hannah from this timeline, before she ever even met me. Then one afternoon, an old woman approached. White hair, a cane, her back bent from age. But her eyes, I knew those eyes. Monica? I whispered. She smiled faintly, her voice trembling. Charlie, do you regret it now? You rejected me, and now you'll never have her either. I clenched my fists. I wanted to hit her, but one punch might kill her. She was already half gone. Monica, I said through gritted teeth, you finally succeeded in making me hate you. Her cane slipped from her hand, clattering to the ground. She leaned against the wall, shaking. I'm sorry, she murmured. I just loved you too much. But if you agree to be with me again, I can still go back. I can fix it. Enough! I shouted. My fist stopped an inch from her face. If you weren't this old, I swear... Monica flinched, lost her balance, and began to fall. But someone caught her. Monica gasped and turned. You're... I froze too. It was Hannah. She steadied Monica gently, then let go. Her voice was calm but carried power. "You're not the only one who can play with time," she said softly. "You're not the only one with abilities." Her words hit me like lightning. Suddenly, all the moments came flooding back. Every loop, every coffee, every smile. That last time when she'd handed me juice instead of coffee. Of course, she'd known. I ran to her and hugged her tightly. She laughed, a little embarrassed. "I just graduated high school this year," she said. "What about you?" I smiled back. "Same here." "Then why don't we apply to the same university?" We said it at the same time, and both burst into laughter. I bent down, picked up Monica's cane, and handed it to her gently. "Old lady," I said, smiling faintly, "at your age you should be resting at home. If it weren't for kind people like us, who would help you pick this up?" Hannah laughed softly beside me. I took her hand. We walked, no, ran, into the golden light of the setting sun. "Graduation trip?" I asked. "Sure," she said, eyes bright. "Where to?" "Your cafe," I smiled. 10 years from now." "Perfect," she replied. "We'll have Coke, with ice." And as the light faded behind us, it felt like, finally, time itself had stopped chasing us.